quite enough. Ella! Can anyone hear me? Monsieur Terreau de Crone. Monsieur Lieutenant Général. I've been waiting for hours. There is an urgent matter that I must discuss with you. Will anyone answer me? That's it. You will listen to me, whether it please you or not. Bon sang. What the...
Ah, Monsieur Brisso. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Oui. What a fortunate coincidence.
A coincidence? Oh no, I don't think so. Our friends at the Hotel de Massiac warned me that I would find you here.
Hotel de Massiac. I don't understand. What do you want from me?
Monsieur, please follow me. Don't make a scene.
No. No! I most absolutely will not. I order you to let me leave!
You order me? Oh, voyez-vous cela? You seize this wretch.
Your bracelet was very useful, mon ami. The miracle didn't last long.
Please get me out of this mess! Turn it into a pile of scrap metal!
I give thanks for your ardor, mysterious Galatea. Once again, you have saved my skin. By the way, you were only half right. Your miraculous bracelet quickly lost its effect. I thought my time had come. Balsam. I didn't know I could run that fast.
Let's get back to the matter at hand, please. Did you find anything?
Ah oui, bien sûr. Here, this pocket knife belongs to Citoyen Brisson.
Believe me, you won't be in Versailles much longer, Anne-Joseph. I'd wager good money that the Estates General will come to nothing.
As long as the king refuses to hear the people's grievances, the Third Estate will be intransigent.
That is precisely what worries me. What if the only way out is through a confrontation?
The members of the Third Estate are not warmongers. They will not fire the first shot.
Certes. But what about the king? There are already rumors that he is on the move. His armies are said to be on the warpath, ready to sound the alarm for a new St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. Anyone who dares to challenge the royal decree would be in danger.
Allons, what are you afraid of, Pierre? Won't I always be here to protect you?
Of course, Madame Amazon. But of course.
This is a valuable find.
Will you finally tell me what this treasure hunt is all about?
We will discuss it later. For now, run for cover, and do not come out until the danger has passed.
What, did you think I was planning to wait around out in the open?
You've come just in time, my diabolical dancer.
Not one move, villain!
Oh, so now you presume to command your master?
Only my conscience commands me, wretch.
Oh, voyez-vous cela? It was certainly a mistake to bind you to the anima of an uncontrollable degenerate. A blunder that I intend to rectify imminently.
Ella! Not another move, I said!
Awaken to your new glorious being, Brisso, and heed only the sound of my voice. Get rid of this nuisance once and for all!
Hear your voice, Monsieur le Comte. Only your voice. Obey. I must obey. The dancer. Kill the dancer. Nom de chien. Aled! They're going to kill me!
It's all right. No one here wants to hurt you, Citoyen Brisso.
Citoyenne Teruань, please, help me.
Do not fear. She's right here.
Would one of you be so kind as to tell me what on earth is going on?
Don't be afraid, Pierre. We'll explain everything as soon as we're on our way.
Yes, you're right. Let's hurry to the Cordelier. Abbé Gregoire promised we would be safe there.
I can attest to that, Citoyen. The walls are impenetrable, and you will be in excellent company.
Will you come with us, Aegis?
No, I still have things to do. Go without me. I will join you soon.
As you wish, mon ami. Au plaisir.
mes amis. I was nearly lost. The Comte de Cagliostro was intending to add me to his tally. I owe my life to these two guardian angels.
No, Pierre. It's Aegis we should be lauding, and Aegis alone.
Please, stop. It's an unnecessary waste of all too precious time.
But I insist. Were it not for her, I would be lying in a potter's field at the Hôpital Saint-Louis. And as for you, my friend, you would still be imprisoned in that dreadful box.
Oh, I see.
How did you both fall into the Count's clutches?
My impetuous anger caused this unfortunate adventure. When I heard they'd been rounding up black people in Paris, my blood boiled. I rushed to the Châtelet to demand an explanation from Monsieur Thiroux de Crogne.
The Lieutenant General de Police? You went to see him without taking anyone with you?
No, of course not. I asked Mademoiselle Teruань to act as my bodyguard.
I was to stay at a distance and help him if needed.
But it was all in vain. I was waiting to be received when all of a sudden I was seized and thrown into an armored carriage.
A carriage that I discreetly followed to the Hôpital Saint-Louis, where Pierre was imprisoned. I immediately returned to Saint-André-des-Arts in search of help, but it was to no avail. I left a message on my door and went to the hospital, where my attempt to free Pierre quickly met with disaster. If Aegis hadn't answered my call, we would have been done for.
Bless you, ma chère. This time you haven't just freed an innocent man. You have also saved our cause. Thanks to you, there is still hope, and the fight continues.
Your audacity inspires respect, citoyen Teruань. There isn't a man in this assembly who measures up to you. But please be more careful. Something terrible could happen if you rush headlong into the fray.
I care not about my fate, Aegis. I wouldn't hesitate a second to sacrifice my life to save the nation.
I've heard you're eager to take up arms against the tyrant.
It's true. I've been itching to fight for such a long time. You had to be completely naive for the king's treachery to take you by surprise. My dream is to found a female cavalry squadron dedicated to defending our nation. The phalanx of the Amazons of Liberty. I went to Versailles as soon as the Estates General opened to get support from the people's representatives.
You must have had to endure a lot of resistance.
Oh, you can't even imagine. Only a few enlightened minds were willing to listen to me. The first among them was my dear friend Brisso. But it turns out that the Third Estate representatives are no more enlightened than the aristocrats. The inferior status they grant to women is an unjustifiable iniquity. The equality that they preach will remain nothing but a hollow wish, as long as les Français are not free to carry a sword and smite their enemies.
Some people fault you for not acting like a woman. It seems they'd rather see you performing domestic tasks in service of a husband.
A citoyenne owes her life to her country, not to some man who sees her as nothing more than an obedient servant. It is time for us women to break our chains, to do away with the ignorance, arrogance, and injustice that keep us in thrall. I, for one, want the honor of dying for freedom, and to show these backward, prejudiced boors that we are not inferior to them, whether in virtue or in bravery.
You certainly gave a brilliant demonstration of your argument earlier. Au plaisir, citoyenne. Citoyen Brisso.
Cher Aegis, I am forever in your debt.
This time your cause nearly cost you your life.
I knew the enemies of our société would do anything to hold on to their privileges, but this... I admit that I could never have imagined this, but I would have gladly sacrificed myself for our dream. There is no worse poison than prejudice based on one's color. It is the harbinger of death and despair. No honest man can tolerate such an injustice.
You are one of those who are curious about Madame Teruagn's plans, aren't you?
Oh, of course. Women are no less capable of fighting than we are. The only thing that matters is one's love for one's country and the yearning for sacrifice. There are many who mock Anne-Joseph today, but they won't be laughing so loudly when they see her leading the charge of her Amazons.
Citoyen Robespierre.
Madame.
Cagliostro kept this ledger where he wrote down some familiar names, including yours, Citoyen Brisso, and Citoyen Robespierre.
What does this mean?
These are the names of the men the tyrant deems to be his worst enemies. Those he decided to turn into machines.
Diable. So, my fate was sealed. I threw myself headlong into the lion's den.
But Aegis, how do you explain that my name appears on this list, even though I did not suffer the torment the king had planned for me?
I don't know, Citoyen Robespierre.
I'm not the only one, either. See for yourself. Monsieur de Mirabeau, the Marquis de Lafayette, Abbé Grégoire.
It's easy to explain, mes amis. You hold in your hands the proof that I was looking for.
What do you mean, mon père?
Monsieur de Robespierre, did Cagliostro come to see you in the past few days?
This brute did ask for an audience with me when I was in Versailles, but I refused to see him outright.
Good for you. I did the same when he asked to speak to me face to face. What about you, Monsieur Brisso?
Until today, I had never met the monster.
And I'd be willing to bet you don't remember a thing about it.
What? What are you saying, mon père? Have you lost your wits?
No, quite the contrary. I'm convinced that Cagliostro met each person whose souls he has bound to his machines.
Convinced? Your argument is a bit weak. Why not question his other victims here?
I have. And just as I thought, not one of them remembered having met him.
This makes no sense at all.
Wait just a moment, Maximilien. You'll soon understand. Using a number of ruses, Cagliostro recently spoke to each person whose name is on this list. When he met with his victims, he used an arcane science developed by Monsieur Mesmer, which he now seems to have mastered far better than his mentor. Suggestion.
What is it?
I wouldn't go so far as to call it black magic, but it is a way to weaken and shape a subject's mind in order to make them obey blindly, using only the power of the spoken word. After the victim's will is broken by means of some drug, you can make them do anything. Forget an event, for example, which explains your amnesia, Monsieur Brisso, or follow the most heinous orders, such as murder. Do you understand now how the Count commands his death machines?
Yes. Cagliostro's power of suggestion made me his slave. My spirit animated the automat, but it would only obey that monster's voice.
Precisely, Monsieur Brisso. That's right.
The king turns his enemies into his pawns and forces them to serve his evil purposes.
Quite right, Aegis. Look at what's written next to the names. Bishop, rook, knight. If you add the king and queen, then the pawns, which are the minor automats.
To the tyrant, this war is but a macabre game of chess.
Does he not know that he has already lost his queen? Without her, there's no hope of winning. Citoyen, we must work now to prepare the final blow that will ensure his defeat. Goodbye, Citoyen, and death. Citoyen,
What can I do for you?
just look at the extent of the Count's madness. This document describes how to make an object that is supposed to protect its user from the royal automats.
This is quite literally unbelievable. He claims that the soul of a dead person is imprisoned in it. None of this has any scientific basis.
And yet, I have seen this object fulfill its role perfectly, even though its effect was short-lived.
C'est impossible.
Impossible, you say? Come, my dear Antoine, we can't simply deny that which we cannot explain. When all this is over, I fear we will need to re-examine our certainties in the light of, well, everything.
Goodbye, Citoyen B. Goodbye. Citoyen Raymond.
Can I help you?
Goodbye. Monseigneur.
What can I do for you?
Goodbye.
Can I help you, Aid?
I hope so, Abbot.
I am listening.
I found this on Citoyen Teruagne's door.
Par tous les saints, Pierre Brisso was taken to the Hôpital Sent-Lui.
Why?
Who knows?
After two and the not to mention.
Has he turned at the hospital?
It's possible.
I'm afraid he has to. This is the journal that the Comte de Cagliostro kept. It contains proof of all his crimes.
Huh. Mon Dieu. The man has quite simply lost his mind.
Ah, the folly that may ensnare the human soul. Here is a man whose avarice has plunged him headlong into the abyss.
His master's madness tightening its iron grip on him day after day, riddled with fear at his own ungodly experiments.
This, I'm sure, will fully satisfy the curiosity of the Holy Office.
Goodbye. Citoyen Teruань. Au plaisir. Général Lafayette.
Do you need help, Aegis?
Goodbye, Cher Monsieur Brisson.
Yes, Aegis.
You are.
Oh, yeah, there.
This.
I know, but I've got it now.
Citoyen Mirabeau. Goodbye, and down with. Citoyen Robespierre.
Madame.
Calais include these.
But Eve,
I don't.
It's easy.
What do you mean?
Monsieur, this good. What's up?
What?
No.
This make...
Wait, just using and when he met...
What?
I wouldn't, but after the... Which is awful. Do you...
Yeah, my spirit.
Precise... Quite...
Goodbye, and death.